Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of Star Wars Squadrons. Hey, it's R2! Or an R2 unit, it's not exactly R2-D2. Anyway, let's talk to our crewmates. If for some reason you can't move around the hangar, you can just look around, and honestly, that's kind of shitty. So yeah, after this dialogue, I'll be right back.
The Empire won't push into our territory again anytime soon.
Thanks to our new pilot.
Yeah, and thanks to the rest of us. This isn't a race, all right? We're a team.
You're right, Gunny. But still, nice flying out there.
Speaking of fancy flying, I was thinking about the Dragon Void run from a few years back. You see that one, Keo?
Oh, sure. I caught the whole thing on the HoloNet.
Yeah, me too. I watched the entire thing, but for the life of me, I can't recall who won.
I think it was one of the Ash twins? No, wait. Dylan Vooks.
Yeah, that's it. Boy, he was something else back then. In fact, the only pilot I've seen that comes close since is Keo here.
Oh, come on. Dylan Vooks got 9 championships under his belt. I've only got 5.
Well, fun as this is, Commander Javes has someone special waiting for us in the briefing room. Let's get in there and find out what's next. Commander's waiting.
So where is it now?
I helped Talus Group chase it away from a medical convoy towards Yavin. It's pinned in the upper atmosphere with no hyperdrive, but too many fighters for Talus Group to handle alone.
This might work out for both of us. Come, meet our visitor.
Wedge Antilles, Rogue Squadron. I hear you're the reason I was able to finally get a comm through. I have a Star Destroyer problem that Vanguard might be able to help me solve.
We need a Star Destroyer for Project Starhawk, intact. Now we prove what Vanguard's made of. Wedge, if you would.
As you may have overheard, Talus Group has cornered the Imperial Star Destroyer Victorum, above the planet Yavin. They're in tough, but it's presented a great opportunity for us to jump in and not only disable that Star Destroyer, but to seize control. So first, we need to give ourselves some cover by knocking out the turrets. Naturally, if we can also take out the targeting system, that'll buy us even more time. Next, we need to prepare the Star Destroyer for boarding. You'll need to find a potential breach point in the Victorum's hull, preferably near the bridge. Once you find a good spot, bombard it until the hull is breached. However, we can expect that the Victorum still has plenty of TIE fighters. They will try to stop us. Once the skies are clear, we can bring in the boarding team. While our troops capture the bridge, Vanguard will defend the exterior from reinforcements. Once the boarding team has seized the bridge and is in control of the Star Destroyer, we'll rendezvous with the Temperance. Okay, I think I accidentally made stealing a Star Destroyer sound simple. Let's hope it is. Sorry for the speedy introduction, but Talus Group was counting on me to get reinforcements fast. Your commander says you have talent. Enough to steal a Star Destroyer and get away with it. Normally, I'd have Rogue Squadron for this, but General Syndulla gave me a temporary assignment to Project Starhawk. Meanwhile, Rogue is handling, well, that's classified too. General Syndulla keeps us busy. Your commander and I have something in common. I once flew for the Empire too, at Skystrike Academy. Turning to the Rebellion was the smartest move I ever made. I wish more of my friends had done the same. Look, I appreciate the talk, but Talus Group's waiting for us.
A Star Destroyer? Aren't you tossing him in the deep end a little early, Lyndon?
Vanguard can handle it. Can't you? Besides, Project Starhawk needs that Star Destroyer for... well, you know. Wedge made a name for himself at the Battle of Yavin. He knows that system better than the Empire ever will. We'll be fighting on the Rebellion's old turf. So if Wedge has any advice, he'd be smart to listen.
You know, a wounded Krakana can still bite. Just watch yourself around that Star Destroyer, huh?
Get out there as soon as you can.
Squadron launch is imminent. All support pilots, clear the hangar.
So, we're headed to Yavin. In exalted company, it seems. And now we know Project Starhawk needs an Imperial Star Destroyer. That's enough firepower to tackle a small fleet, or a means to catch the Empire off guard. But that wouldn't warrant all this secrecy. There must be more to the Commander's plan. We'll just have to trust him. Too bad there isn't an easier way to get what we need. Even a damaged Star Destroyer has deck upon deck of Durasteel plating, turrets, shields.
Sensor sweep is complete.
My poor bigoted father called Star Destroyers the fists of the Empire. He wasn't wrong. But they can be beaten. If you're good and lucky. Let's stay optimistic. To Yavin then. Let's not delay.
Wedge Antilles. He's going to be a guest party member for this mission and this mission only. He's going to fly an X-Wing for the mission, which is what Wedge usually flies in Star Wars media. And from what I've noticed, your wingmen, even though they get shot at a lot, they're never in danger of dying. They may pull out of battle if they get damaged too much, but they'll always come back. So your wingmen's ship types don't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
The commander wants you on an X-Wing for this mission. Got you outfitted with ion missiles. They disable enemy fighters and they'll disable subsystems on enemy capital ships too.
So we still cannot pick our loadouts. Damn you, Serota! Oh well. Not until next mission.
Yavin Prime. This place always brings back memories. Let's hope for some of that Skywalker luck today. All right, ready, Vanguard? We're heading for the heart of the action.
Vanguard, follow his lead.
This is Talus Leader, calling for immediate assistance.
Captain Antilles with Vanguard Squadron. Here to help.
It's damn good to see you, Wedge. We've taken heavy losses. We need that Star Destroyer stopped.
Don't you worry. We're here to hijack it.
You're what?
Be ready.
Interceptors. Those have got to be the first to go.
Agreed. They're fast. They'll rip right through our fighters. Vanguard, prioritize targets.
The voice actor for Wedge in this game is Dennis Lawson, who is reprising his role from the original movies. And there has been a bit of confusion on how Dennis Lawson felt about the whole Star Wars franchise. No, he did not hate Star Wars as a whole, he just hates talking about Star Wars. And if he were to return for any further projects, then his cameo should be more important than just, hey, look at me, I'm here doing cool shit. Which is what Star Wars has been doing a lot lately. Like, for example, what did Lando do in Episode 9? I mean, sure, he gathered the Rebel fleet, but I felt like anybody could have done that. So, yeah, I agree with Mr. Lawson wholeheartedly. If you have a cameo, make it important, especially if they're legacy characters like Luke or Wedge. Or anybody at this point. Hell, you could get Samuel L. Jackson to reprise his role as Mace Windu. Just have it be important to the story. Anyway, we got TIE interceptors now, and they're faster than the standard fighters, but they are more fragile. But they're also a danger to your health because they can shoot like nothing else. The good thing is we have ion missiles which can stun them in place for a few seconds. That's going to make it easier for us to aim at them and destroy them.
That's almost all of them. Then don't stop now.
Oh, thanks.
I fixed Cloud Cutter's voice in between parts. Don't worry, he's good. Or at least I think he's good. I don't know, it might still not even be the same voice I put on him the first time.
Wedge, we've taken heavy losses. We need to make a few repairs, then get ourselves out of here.
Roger that, Talus Leader. And don't worry about the Imperials. We'll keep them busy.
You're really gonna steal that Star Destroyer?
That's the plan. Okay, Vanguard, on me. Let's head for the Victorum.
The first time we've seen Yavin Prime was the very first Star Wars movie back in 1977. However, we did not see the giant ball of gas we call a planet. We only saw the moon in the first movie. That is because Yavin Prime is a very, very dangerous, heavily stormed, very toxically atmosphered planet. So this is about as close as we can actually get to the thing without melting. Now, the crazy thing about Yavin, there are 26 moons orbiting the thing. I mean, it is a gas giant. And according to Wikipedia, there are 24 hours in a day on Yavin, kind of like Earth. But it takes Yavin over 4,000 days in order to orbit the sun. Yikes. So 1 year in the Yavin system will put you at about 10 years on Earth. Talk about having a midlife crisis, yet you're only 2 years old here. But those are the fun facts. Yavin's weird.
I'm taking fire.
Star Destroyer targeting's out for good.
The U-Wings can get in safely.
This is our chance to capture that Star Destroyer. If we take the bridge, we'll have access to its internal systems. Scan for a breach point, so we can send an boarding team. You're up, 5.
Reaching a Star Destroyer, just like the old days. Look out, Vanguard. We got a gunny story incoming.
Fight hasn't heard it.
Sure. Just tell me when I can turn my comms back on. If your comms are off, how can we tell you to... No, forget it.
Imperial fighters incoming.
I just love the dialogue in this game, even though there's a ton of it. Anyway, we need to find a way for our forces to hijack this ship called the Victorum. And words for the wise, if you name your ship something like the Victory or Glory or something, it's gonna get hijacked or destroyed quickly.
He's got a lock on me. Hey, 5, how about you breach that breach point? Right in the trash chute.
Now, push those last fighters back. Clear the skies.
Now we have to destroy the remaining ties in the area. Even though there's gonna be more ties, there are always more ties. Well, at least we got Wedge with us. Good old Wedge Antilles. He survived the first Death Star attack with Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and random Y-Wing pilot, I forgot his name. I'm sure it was important, but it was just a random Y-Wing in the movie. But that's besides the point. Wedge also aided Lando Calrissian and the crew of the Millennium Falcon in destroying the second Death Star. And it was then, or probably even slightly before that, that Wedge promoted to commander of Rogue Squadron, since Luke was doing his Jedi training. The members of Rogue Squadron in the New Republic are, I'm probably gonna butcher a lot of these names, Valus Erdel, Avon Buris, Tycho Kelchu, Scooter Fell, Zargi Hula, Ib Tibzim, Plower Elo, or maybe it's Eo, Harriet Einarge, Wes Jansen. Now Wes Jansen actually survived from the Rebel era, so he's still around. Standro Jakir, Darkaeus, Derek Clevian, also known as Hobby, he's another survivor of the Rebel era. Elsko Laurel, Delor Nep, honestly the weirdest name of them all is Delor Nep because there are no vowels anywhere. And Niran Vakil. And that's Rogue Squadron during this time frame. No Luke because he's a Jedi. No Dak because Dak died brutally.
You're taking me apart. 5, where are you?
That's it. All fighters destroyed.
I'm done for.
I'm on it.
Deflector shield it down.
Great shooting. Got him. Thanks, Wedge. Fighter took a beating, though.
Great work. U-Wings are on their way. We can bring the boarding team in safely.
Just a scrape.
Follow me to the rendezvous. We'll give them cover.
Vanguard, Let's go.
Morning, team. We have you on our sights. Ready to take on a Star Destroyer?
Copy, Captain Antilles. Just get us there and we'll do the rest.
You heard it, Vanguard. Guide those U-wings into position. Stay sharp.
What about the Star Destroyer's crew?
If our boarding party takes the bridge, they'll slice internal security systems. The crew won't be a problem with no computer access and all the blast doors locked.
Looks like we have one more ship incoming.
We've got an Imperial carrier. They're launching reinforcements.
They're not giving up the Victoria without a fight. Vanguard, take down that cruiser.
Of course, it's a goddamn quasar. Now, here's where the game teaches you about advanced targeting. You have to hold down the L2 button to display the targeting wheel. Now, this will give you multiple options for your ship to target. Like, say for example, you want to target flagship systems, you can do very much that and pick off a capital ship. Very slowly and methodically, piece by piece. If you want to target aerial combatants, you can also do that, and just make it a straight up dogfight between X-Wings and TIE Fighters. And trust me, you need to know where the enemies are attacking from, because you can't easily look behind you. Unless you have VR, which I think this game is compatible with virtual reality, I just don't have it because it's expensive. VR is expensive as hell.
Losing hull integrity. Ion missiles are great against shields.
We're wearing the carrier down. Keep at it.
That's good to know. Whenever there's a capital ship with shields, use ion missiles. And I think rebel ships are also weak to ion missiles too.
We're taking fire, but we're almost to the bridge.
Carrier destroyed. Fire. Great work. All right, team. Let's finish off the rest.
Bridge is sealed, cutting through the blast doors.
So my biggest question is, where's the defense force for the inside of the Star Destroyer? Because it seems like they're just sending in 1 or 2 landing crafts at most. But then again, it is the Empire we are talking about, and they weren't known for being a defense force. Maybe attacking, but not defense. The rebels were always more of a turtle or a clam, if you will. Actually coming up with strategies and guerrilla tactics in order to take down the Empire. And that's the reason, or at least one of the main reasons why the Empire fell, is because they knew how to be aggressive, but they didn't know how to defend. Oh, and also destroying Alderaan didn't help things at all.
Enemies locking onto me. Okay, come on.
Dodge those fighters.
And that should be all the fighters in this area. And a job well done. Mission complete.
Okay. Regroup at my position. On me, Vanguard. Let's regroup at the Victoria. The boarding team might need support.
We're almost through those blast doors.
We've got another Imperial carrier.
Make that 3 carriers.
That's a lot. Get ready, everyone.
We're in. Taking control now.
That Star Destroyer's taken down its own carrier. What a sight.
Yes, the ship is ours. You actually did it.
And Project Starhawk has a Star Destroyer.
You can take escort Talos Group to safe harbor.
Great work. General Syndulla will be impressed. Wedge, out.
And that's mission 3 out of the way, and I got 4 out of the 5 medals for this. Okay. That's probably the best I'll be able to do for these missions. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's going to do it for part 3 of Star Wars Squadrons. Stay tuned for part 4, where we find out what we're going to do with the Star Destroyer. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Oh, wait. Let's hear Gunny's story. What does Gunny want? Actually, what does Keo want?
Now that was a fun mission. Even better than beating my time on the Death March circuit. We got to steal a Star Destroyer and help our friends doing it. And see Yavin. We still have allies on the 4th moon, but I've never been there. There was an energy at Yavin like I've never felt anywhere else. It was chaotic and serene, all at once. The Empire corrupts the energy of every planet it touches. But I can always feel the good buried beneath that. And that's what we fight for, the good. Anyway, I saw Frisk bothering Commander Javes earlier. Knowing Frisk, the commander might appreciate some backup.
Now the Empire's gonna want that Star Destroyer back. Good. Let's see them try and take it. You know, back home, after the Empire invaded Mimbin, we stole an armored transport hauler full of scout walkers. When the Empire came looking for them, we just turned the walkers against them. Had a real good time. I'm guessing the commander has something similar in mind for this Star Destroyer, right? Otherwise, what's the point? At least Wedge picked the right team for the job, huh? Those slackers in Alphabet Squadron would still be fapping around at Yavin. Enough yapping. Time to check with the commander and see what's next.
Okay, now I'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody.